but they were human beings just like the rest of us. They had husbands, wives, boyfriends, girlfriends, children, and grandchildren. For some of the younger men, the gang was their family, and violence was a basic means of communication. Some had serious addictions to alcohol, drugs, gambling, or the thrill of getting over on other people. Others were mentally ill. Many had been abused. All of them were desperate. Whatever money or luck or goodwill they once possessed was long gone. Their lives could not have been more different than mine, or, I suspected, most of the law students the law professor had asked me to address that day. But what I tried to get across then, and believed to the marrow of my bones, was that there was a powerful connection between my clients and me. At the end of the day, it was just the two of us, up against the seemingly infinite resources of the government. I loved my public defender life. The work felt important. It was also fast-paced and exciting. The stakes were high. In the cases that went to trial, I worked constantly and thought of nothing else, inhabiting a closed-off world so fraught and churning it often made me physically sick. But as a moral matter, the universe was simple and binary. There are always, and only, two irreconcilable sides of the same story: black and white, right and wrong, feller and fallen, beginning and end. Next case. I left the federal public defender's office in 2008. By then, I was in my mid-30s and in a serious relationship. I wanted to have children. While many women in my office were able to strike that balance, I did not believe I could. For 7 years, my job had consumed me. I did not know how to do it any other way. It was 5 years before I returned to criminal defense work, this time as the director of the Loyola Law School Project for the Innocent in Los Angeles, a free legal services clinic founded by Professor Lori Levinson and staffed by law students that is dedicated to freeing the falsely convicted. It was inspired by the Innocence Project, a nonprofit organization founded by attorneys Barry Scheck and Peter Neufeld in 1992. Based in New York City, the Innocence Project litigates wrongful conviction cases across the nation and has freed more than 200 innocent men and women from prison. Its success has spurred the creation of a network of nearly 70 similarly named organizations around the world that are dedicated to the same mission. The transformational effect of this advocacy on individual lives and on the public's perception of the criminal justice system has created an Innocence Movement. At Loyola's Project for the Innocent, we had a client with the improbable name of Cash Register. In 1979, Register, who is black, was convicted by an all-white jury of murdering an elderly white man. Register was 18 years old, with a new job and a baby on the way. He spent the next 34 years in prison for a murder he did not commit. Litigating his case, I slipped into my public defender mindset. My focus was on how to marshal the evidence and arguments necessary to win in court. And we did win, by proving that a toxic combination of false testimony and misconduct by the police and prosecutors resulted in a conviction that was based on nothing but lies. After more than a year of litigation and a 2-week evidentiary hearing, Register was exonerated on November 7, 2013. But unlike my public defender work, Register's case did not end. Yes, the legal wrangling was over, but then there was the rest of his life to consider. His mother, Wilma, a woman of unshakable Christian faith, remained in the apartment where they had lived together when he was arrested. But Wilma was in her late 70s, still working full-time selling concessions at LA's Staples Center, and barely getting by. Register needed a job. He needed clothes. He needed to reconnect with his 34-year-old daughter, who had been born while he was in jail, and meet her 2 children, his grandchildren. He needed good civil lawyers who would sue the police and the city for every dime they owed him. He needed to learn to navigate a world that was unrecognizable.